Here we are at 2131 Romney Avenue in Fort Collins. In terms of neighborhood, very quiet, peaceful. You're not too far away from the campus from here. I'd personally say that it's probably more in the realm of driving over to the campus versus biking. You could bike as well. It's just a little bit further on that side. Most neighbors do take good care of their house. This is going to be a little more of a mixture of homeowners in here versus renters, but there are still a good amount of rentals in here. Everyone takes care of their properties. Don't see much deferred maintenance on the exteriors in much places. So overall, good shape of a neighborhood, good wide streets as well. So nothing major to note on the neighborhood. You do hear a little bit of the road noise off of South Taft Hill Road from here, but to a certain point, it kind of sounds like a river, unless a loud car comes by. Interiorly wise, not going to hear anything. Just on the exterior, going to hear a little bit of noise, and once the trees actually grow in and leaves come in, that noise should deaden out a little bit. In terms of exterior appearance, this home is definitely has been well taken care of. Roof looks like it's in pretty good shape from what I can tell from being on the ground. Grass is well taken care of as well, is irrigated. You do have two pretty large trees. One is a large sycamore that does go up and above the roof a little bit. So there are some branches on there that do have a little bit of a concern. If the tree ever had any major wind or any major snow when the leaves are on it, breakage is a possibility. These are hardwood trees that are in the yard, so not as concerning, but with larger trees, you are playing that gamble a little bit. Trimming them up as time goes on and spending that money to do that would be a pretty good benefit. In terms of driveway, this driveway, you could fit probably about 4 cars on this driveway going up. It's got enough space, plus 2-car garage as well. So plenty of space there. And if you ever wanted to bring in extra parking here as well, I'd probably just take out this row of Colorado spruce bushes and put some concrete or gravel in there and have that as another parking space if you end up having more tenants in this house at some point down the road. Paint on the home, it's in good shape. There's some spots and places where it's showing its wear and tear a little bit, but paint wise, you're going to be able to get away with not painting this for probably about 5 more years at least. And you might see some deterioration over time, but nothing major. Nice part is majority of this house is brick, so painting this house is going to be a heck of a lot cheaper. They've gone through and put all new mulch down, so it makes the place look a little bit nicer on the exterior. Newer windows have been put in, newer doors as well on that side. So overall, home on the exterior is in really good shape and functional, and really just nothing to note on that side. Coming in, ooh, that went dark, I apologize. One cool feature I'll just show you, it's got still the old school door on it. I just wanted to show that really quick. You just don't see doors like this, and it's well taken care of. So kind of a nice little feature. It's kind of a golden color, so kind of gives that old school Fort Collins appearance, and it's nice to see a door that's been well taken care of. Right off the bat, you do have tile for your main walk-in for the floor, so you don't have to walk on the wood floors with dirty shoes and can take them off easily. Right off the front door, you do have kind of the first main living room area. This is going to be your brightest room for hanging out, TV watching. I think layout-wise in here as well, I think the layout in this house is actually pretty well done as well. And you have 2 separate areas to have for TV watching, or this area up here could be a reading nook, small area. Easy enough to be able to put a TV on this wall, or I'd probably personally put it on this wall here and then have my couch facing the back of the window. Looks like it does have newer smoke alarms. The paint in here has also been redone. I think not to a professional standard, but whoever did paint this did a pretty good job. The areas I see a little bit of issue is obviously in the trim work between the not the floorboards, but the trim board on the ground and the ceiling, just kind of where some paint bleed has gone over the top a little bit, but something that's easy to fix, not something you're going to notice right off the bat coming in. Paint in here is your basic matte gray. It looks like it has a little bit of yellow to it as well, or it could be this flooring that's kind of giving that yellow tinge to it. Video just doesn't ever show very good justice on that. Flooring is a hardwood flooring. Personally, at this point, you could go in and resand it, but this flooring, when you walk on it, barefoot wise, it does feel like it has a little bit of edging on each one of these planks that you can kind of see. And it's had some wear and tear from the kitchen area to the bedrooms. So you can definitely go in and resand these, but with how small these floors are and the tile work that is here, I personally would take the funds and put it into the flooring, and this would make this house feel so much nicer, just with all the other features that have been added to this home. Like I said, the windows are in good condition. They aren't brand spanking new on that side, but they are dual pane. They are the polymer type window. I've checked a few of the windows for the sliding. The operation of the windows work really well. So windows overall have no concern on that side. You can probably see a little bit in this video as well, where right here, you do have some wear from the floor from people walking into the kitchen, and probably to where the main master bedroom was in here as well. That one also has some wear in front of it. Coming back into the master bedroom and other bedroom area, or primary bedroom, I apologize. You do have back here, I'll bring it back really quick. You do have a linen closet, if I can get to it. Your linen closet is right here, / coat closet, so good place to put the vacuum, other kind of coats and things you want to store. And then the first door over to the right here, in between, before the 3 bedrooms, is going to be the shared bathroom for the upstairs. Good size, same flooring as in the kitchen and as the front entryway and the other living room when we get to it. Cabinets in here are a dark brown. Looks like they repainted them. A few little nicks and chips in them, but nothing major to where I'm saying, oh gosh, you got to replace it. I think that's another place where equity can be built in, is upgrading these bathrooms and bringing them up to the standard of what new houses kind of have. But overall, functionality wise, no problems noted. Tile for the shower is the same as the floor as well. So same texture, same coloring. It's kind of nice to have an actual window that does face the north side of the house towards the backyard. The only downside with this bathroom, out of all the bathrooms we've seen so far, is that shower head is really low. Probably being 5'5", 5'4", you could fit underneath that shower head, but anybody taller than that would have a harder time with it. So when you redo the bathroom at some point, I would definitely raise that shower head up so that it can fit more individuals and be a little bit more comfortable. And then try and figure out a way to be able to maybe still incorporate, obviously, having a bathtub in there. That's a low profile bathtub, but it is longer. So a taller individual could sit down in there and take a bath. It's just, you wouldn't be able to get too soaked in there. It's more of your knees would still be popping out of the water unless you filled it all the way full. Swinging back around, you do have the boob light up here for the lighting, so upgrading the lighting in here as well would be good. Paint in the hallways in good shape, trim in the hallways in pretty good shape. A little bit of bleed over from the painting. First bedroom off to the, oh man, now I got myself all confused on where I'm at here. So I do apologize. So the bathroom does face the south side of the home, and then the front of the home faces north. So this bedroom right here does face to the north or the front of the home. They did put a lower profile carpet. It is brand new. Still has that brand new carpet smell. The trim in here was done okay. There's still a little bit of gapping that I will show you here, where the trim board just didn't get placed down correctly. And they might have not taken the trim board off when they did the carpet. So there's a little bit of a gap there, which all you'd end up having to do is pull that trim board off and lower it down to where it sits flush with the carpet. Or I would go in and maybe at some point replace the carpet as well. This bedroom, You could jam a queen bed into here if you really wanted to. It would be tight lengthwise, but it is doable. I'd probably go with a full bed or a twin, if anything else, just for this bedroom in particular. All windows do have in the bedrooms shade covers, so they do at least have some type of way to shut them off for the natural lighting. And they still look like they're in good operational condition. And then you do have your basic closet. So this one right here is going to be your 4.5 foot long by 2.5 foot wide. Single bar, single shelf. To fit a bed in here, you could do a couple nightstands. A dresser definitely would be tough, though, to be able to put into this bedroom. Same deal. No fan in here, just the basic boob light. So upgrading that at some point would always be a good deal. Doors in here are all the hollow core doors, but they were updated at some point in time and then repainted, it looks like, to be fresh. All the hinges are in good shape, not too much overpaint on those as well. So whoever did come in and paint did try to take their time. So next bedroom is going to be facing the south side, and this bedroom would probably be your primary bedroom for the main floor. So this one's big enough to where you could put a king in it. Because of it being more of a rectangular shape than a square shape, it's going to feel a little tight with a king-size bed in here with nightstands next to it. If you had small nightstands, I think it would feel just fine. It's just going to feel a little bit tighter. But you do have room for a dresser and other bedroom decor and decoration. The shade cover in here looks like it's a little more in rough condition, so I'd probably be replacing that one at some point, but windows also look good in here as well. Carpet is all new as well. Same issue in here as they did with the other bedroom with the floorboard, with the trim boards. So the carpet does sit a little bit lower than the trim board, so there's a little bit of a gap, but you can definitely fix that, no problem. TV plug mount wall right there is where they have it all hooked up for right now, which they have the HDMI cables coming through and power cable coming through. And then you also have the Ethernet port as well. This bedroom being the primary, they did put a fan in here, so this is the bedroom that was mostly used in this house. This bedroom does face the backyard. You do have two juniper trees here that do cover the neighbors, so really the only neighbor you can see is going to be the one across the way over here. And when the trees actually grow up during the summertime, you're not going to be able to see most of their property at that point. Coming over to the last feature, you do have your closet. This one is the bigger of the closets, so it is set up for the primary. And as you can see, for the TV cable right there, they did just run it in to the closet for the little shelving unit up there, so you can put your Xfinity box or your DVD player or whatever you want to put in there. This closet is probably about 8 foot long and 2.5 foot wide. They do have a couple extra shelving units in there as well. One down there for shoes, your normal basic one up there, and then you have a little extra storage shelf up above that. Ceiling height, I forgot to mention that as I was in there. Ceiling height across the entire main floor of the house is at 8 foot. And so it feels spacious, feels open, feels inviting. When I first came into the house, one thing to note is I feel like I'm smelling dog in here. I'm not really sure where it's coming from, if it's coming from the hardwood floor. Carpets have been replaced, and the house looks pretty clean, so I'm not really sure where that smell is coming from. It's a little bit stronger in the basement than it is up on the main floor, but it is something I at least wanted to note. And then this is going to be the other bedroom. This is going to be your second biggest bedroom out of all 3 bedrooms on the main floor. Same carpet and trim issue. Same deal as all 3 bedrooms, so that trim just could use a little love at some point, but that's more nitpicking than anything else. You could fit a king bed in here with nightstands. Having a dresser in here would definitely be the tougher part with where the closet is laid out. This bedroom does face towards the front of the house, which is to the north. But overall, this is a great sized bedroom. This would be a perfect alternative. If you thought the other bedroom wasn't going to fit as well, this would be another good one for doing like a primary as well. And then this is the same closet as in the, gosh dang, first bedroom. And so this does separate you from the first bedroom that we were in when we first got through here. So the closet does block that off. And then for this wall as well, as you can see from the push out that is there where the door's at, this bedroom is also separated from the primary bedroom by the closet as well. Paint in here, ceilings in here, all look really good. All new smoke alarms in here too. So really there's nothing much that you need to touch in the bedrooms except for the trim at some point. Or if you don't like the carpet, something you can also change. The main thing on the main floor so far would be the flooring just in the main living room and hallway. Changing this out at some point would make a heck of a difference on the feel of the home and then the bathroom as well. You do also have a whole house fan in here, which is very nice to have. I have one in my house during the spring and fall time. Running this instead of your AC unit to cool your house out during the morning time and evening time is so nice to be a little more efficient saving wise. You open up a couple windows, turn that fan on, and you'll feel a really nice breeze through here during the summertime. Coming around, we'll squeeze through the closet area or to the kitchen area. You do actually have an extra closet here as well. This is probably where I'd end up hanging my coats in and using that other closet in the hallway for my linen closet. This does sit above the stairs to the basement, so there's nothing really you can do there to create a better platform. So this is kind of how the closet has to be set up. Now coming in from this first living room into the kitchen area, it does have a little hallway there. It's big enough to where, you know, when I'm walking through, it's no big deal. If you're bringing groceries through the front door or anything like that, that's probably where it's going to feel a little bit tighter. But overall, like shoulder width wise, it's like a regular door. Onto the kitchen. They did put new countertops on there. It's some type of matte granite that I think they put in here from what I can tell. It's not an epoxy or anything like that from what it looks like. It looks like it is true granite. But they do have the original cabinets in here. So upgrading this and doing a bigger kitchen, because right now the kitchen does feel a little tight and small, just the way it is set up. But you do have all this extra space along this wall where this fridge is at. And I would personally go in and put in actual cabinets and put an actual countertop here along this wall where this little bar stool area is at, just to make this kitchen feel more inviting and open. And you could probably even get away with putting a little island kind of in this section right here and push it off to the side a little bit to create a little more counter space. But overall, it kind of feels like the galley kitchen. It's a little bit tighter, but it's still very usable and friendly. And it wouldn't be anything you'd need to change right away. I just think over time, this would be one place I'd put my money into as well to bring equity out of this home. Whirlpool appliances, gas stove as well, which is Whirlpool. And then you do actually have a closet for groceries and all that as well. Flooring in here is all that tile. I'm not the biggest fan of this tile. It makes the house feel dated. So putting that all new flooring throughout here would be such a nice deal. Cost wise, you know, if you're going to go with like a nice LPV in here for the main floor, gosh, you'd probably be at that, I would say you're probably looking at that $6 to $7 grand mark if I was thinking of what I would put into it and using a company for that. They do have the little bar stool area, which works okay on that side. I think it takes up more space than needed. I would probably want to tear that out and actually have room for a table there versus this bar stool area that faces out towards the backyard. And this does bring you into your next kind of living room area. With it being tile, it feels not like a living room because of the tile. If you were to put hardwood LPV throughout, it would make this feel a lot more inviting to be a living room, just like that front area feels. And you could easily fit a really good sectional couch in here without taking up too much space. And then the only downside is probably having to have that TV up above the fireplace. Or they also have it set up right now to have the TV along this wall right here, which is facing the backyard, which is still a really good wall to put it on too. I just personally end up like putting things over the fireplace, but this would be the best access is using this plug right here for the TV. Fireplace is in good condition as well. It is a wood burning fireplace. You could always convert it to a gas fireplace, or an electric fireplace would probably be the easier approach to go with it. The only reason why is because that basement's finished, so you'd have to cut into drywall to bring things over utility wise to put gas in there. It is a little bit darker in here. It is an overcast day, so that makes a little bit of a part of it. But the fan has no light on it, so I'd upgrade the light. But they do have a couple can lights along the north wall. Overall, this room with the kitchen just feels like a long hallway. There's a little bit of deviation from side to side, but this hopefully gives you a pretty good perspective on. It just kind of floats all the way through. It has an open concept feel, but it doesn't have like that new open concept feel like you would typically have. We'll go downstairs before we check out the base or the garage and the outside. So no light in here except for down at the bottom of the stairs. The stairs are just your basic wood stair, which is going to be hard to show in this video, but they're just painted dark gray. So putting a little carpet on there would probably be the best way to use it, or just leave it the way it is too. It's not really a big issue. Coming straight down, you do have a closet that does close up. I just opened it for the video. For the furnace is definitely newer. I'll have to double check on the age, but I'm betting it was done within the last 10 years, probably even sooner than that, just based off of it being a Lennox. It also is set up with a house humidifier in it as well, which is going to be this device right here. So they put the money in to bring that in and make this house nice and inviting, especially during our dry summer days. Right off the stairs going towards the backyard, you do have your open area for your washer and dryer. That's stacked in the corner here. You do have a wet sink as well. And then they just built some just basic tables for folding. Ceiling is unfinished in here, but they did finish the floor with an LPV. It is a cheaper LPV, so it's nothing spectacular. So upgrading the flooring in here would be nice, but you could use and abuse this flooring for quite some time before you ever need to replace it. Sliding door for the laundry room as well, so you can keep this separated and keep the basement quiet when you're running laundry. Plenty of outlets in here as well for putting any type of utilities or anything else equipment-wise that you want in here. Just as upstairs, all the windows were newer at some point. They're good windows. It looks like they must be Pella. Let me just double check. Yep, they're Pella windows, so they're more on the top end of the window spectrum too. So that's always a good thing to see, that someone put the time and effort to put in nicer stuff. And then you also have this separated closet for storage. Being in this basement, it is super warm. It's inviting. It doesn't feel cold like we felt in other basements. So just another little thing to note. And then, just like I said, just a little storage area that goes up underneath the stairs as well. So nice just to get stuff away and put away. This is where they're keeping all their paint. I couldn't open this door all the well, and it's probably going to be too dark, but I'll do my best to get it for you guys. You do have a crawl space as well, which is another really great space for storage, for the decorations and everything for the holidays. Also mention, looks like, let's see, they don't have a date on it, but they do have an active radon system in here that looks like it is currently running and has no issues. So nice to have that already set up as well. Newer water heater. So mechanically and structurally for this home, this is getting towards the top of the line in terms of having the main big budget items covered: windows, roof, furnace, AC unit, water heater. All those things are covered, so your money can go actually into putting in better equity into this home and making it nicer. So you got your main living room down here. Really nice size living room, plenty of space for a couch. You could actually put a pool table in here depending on how big of a couch you put in here as well, because it does have the length and the width. It is more of a rectangle shape, so you do have a little bit more space to deal with. So you could have a pool table more down in this area, and then kind of where I'm standing, have a little couch and TV area as well. Feels decently bright in here. It's not a garden level basement, so this one does have more recessed windows. And they are the smaller windows like you would expect in an older home. But they are decent. They bring in a decent amount of natural light, but they did put enough bulbs in here to where it doesn't feel like this is a dungeon. Smoke alarms, CO2 detectors are down here as well. And then last thing I forgot to show you on this side is this is where they have all their TV hookups. So this is where they had their TV at one point. And it's the perfect spot to put a TV and then have the couch where I'm standing now. Flooring in here, like I said, is in good shape. It is the cheaper LPV, so replacing this with a carpet, I think, would make it feel more inviting down here, or doing a higher end LPV or wood flooring in here as well would be really nice. Paint wise in here, it's a gray blue, so it is a little bit different feeling than it does feel upstairs. Probably nothing major to note, but it looks clean with the white trim and white doors. So they did say this is a 5-bedroom. I would say it's really a 4-bedroom with an office, to be honest with you. This would be a perfect ideal spot for an office. There is no closet, there is no egress windows. This cannot be considered a conforming bedroom, so better to be an office. But if you had a renter that didn't care about those things, you could turn that into an extra bedroom. You just couldn't charge as much for it because it does have issues, and you'd want to put someone in there that understands that it's not a true bedroom, but's willing to forego that for the cost of the rental. Shared bathroom. This bathroom is well done. Main ceiling height in here as well, because I keep forgetting to mention that. 8 foot tall, except for where the ducts are at. So where you see the angled spot right here, that's down at that 7 foot mark. And that's the same for the bathroom as well. So this is where a lot of the ducting does run through. So it feels a little tighter when you walk into the shower and bathroom area. But it does open up back up to 8 foot ceilings once you get past the ducts. So the shower does feel still big and wide and open. Personally, for me, if it was me, I would probably, as the homeowner, maybe live down in the basement, because it feels like there's more space down here. The room is bigger down here as well, which we'll get to next. And the shower down here is a little bit more usable. The shower head is up taller in this one, so even a guy at my height can pretty much use that one without bumping their head, unlike the upstairs bathroom. And you do have a window in here as well, so that does face towards the backyard, so you do at least get some natural light through there. And then it is tile for the flooring. Granite top countertop, and then it is just your basic cabinetry for the sink area. Last piece will be the main bedroom down here that is a conforming bedroom. This is where the homeowner is staying right now, so I think he has that same concept where it's one of the bigger bedrooms. This is a queen bedroom for reference, so a king can easily fit in here with having extra space for your nightstands and anything else you want to bring in. I can't move the window curtains. I tried and they just fell down, so I can't really mess with those at the moment. But they do bring in plenty of natural light, so actually having real curtains down here or window coverings would make a difference. And this is definitely, in my opinion, one of the better bedrooms in the house. Closet space. This is the same size closet as the upstairs primary bedroom that I talked about, so it's about 8 foot long by 2.5 foot wide. It doesn't have all the extra shelving on it, but easy to add that stuff in. And you can easily put a dresser in here as well for extra storage of clothing. The duct does run through the bedroom, so ceiling wise, when you first enter it and along the closet area, it does shrink down to that 7 foot mark, but then goes back up to the 8 foot mark when you're actually in the bedroom. Same paint color as everywhere else in the basement, and so it does feel darker. If you would go in here and put a lighter paint in here, this basement would feel so much more open and inviting. So having this dark blue gray does kind of make it feel a little bit tighter, a little more claustrophobic, but it is a good enough size to where it doesn't really affect it that much. And that is it, guys, for the main part of the house. We're going to pop back upstairs super fast and then go to the garage, and then we'll hit the backyard really fast. In regards to the furnace, like I said, furnace is newer. And so is the AC unit as well. So you don't have to worry about those two items needing to be replaced anytime soon. Garage on the door does have a doggy door. To the garage, it's a solid door. It's a solid wood door, so inspection wise, that could come up at some point. Just saying, hey, it's better to have a metal door there than a wood door, but at least it's a solid core wood door. So back in the day, that used to be up to code. Garage space, plenty of garage space. Easily could pull 2 cars in here. Truck wise, it would be tight for my truck to fit in lengthwise, but widthwise would be no problem. It is all drywalled in here, not insulated. The garage door is insulated though. No major cracking in the concrete. No major issues to note there. So pretty basic. I would probably personally pull out that shelving there so that you could actually pull a car fully in and still have extra storage, and probably put shelving there versus that. And then you also have some storage as well on the sides because it is a little bit of an oversized garage, but not by much. You do also have your irrigation clock in the corner here. And then you do have access to the outside as well from the garage. Let's see if I can open this up really quick. I'm not always the best with these child locks. So you do have from the garage access to the backyard. They did put new concrete down here as well, so that's actually always a nice feature to have, to where it goes out to the front all concreted, and then it does go out to the back and then over to the deck. So the individual who put the concrete in here did a really good job. Deck wise, deck is in really good shape. Could use a restaining here probably in the next few years, but you can get away with not having to stain it for a little while. Paint wise on the exterior for the backyard, and I'll get to showing you here in 2 seconds. Then make my way around to the back. So this is where most of your painting is going to happen, but paint wise for the exterior, it's in great shape. So nothing major to note on that. The pergola up there, that's the part where I'm seeing it's starting to get a little rougher. It is newer on that side, so like I said, staining it in the next few years would be super beneficial just to keep the life and integrity of the pergola, but nothing major to note in terms of how it feels, and the deck does feel secure when you walk across it. New Lennox AC unit. You do have a Dish HD cable system that is coming out of the house. which could be taken off at some point. Your backflow is back here as well for your irrigation. A couple beds as well for doing some gardening. There's those 2 juniper trees that were kind of in front of that main primary bedroom. And then you do have juniper trees kind of around the back that do block off your neighbors to where you really won't see them on that side. More gardening boxes on the west side of the property as well. And then just quickly, if it's unlocked, I will show you the shed. This is a really well done shed done by Rocky Mountain Storage. So this would be a great spot for your storage, bikes, tools, everything like that, and really well cleaned and kept. And has some decent ceiling height as well. So also could be a nice little tool or workshop. There is no power out to this shed, so you'd have to run an extension cord if you wanted to run any tools or anything like that, or just get battery tools. The roof from the backside also looks good. Can't really say anything in terms of that until someone gets up on the roof, but there's no major curling or issues. The major thing that's going to come up is going to be hail damage, which is too hard for me to see from this side of the house. Fencing wise too, really the fencing is in good shape. It looks like they went through and power washed it at one point. I've pushed around on some of the fencing. The worst part of the fencing is going to be along this side right here. It's just a little more beat up, a little less taken care of. It's been power washed on this side, but I don't think it's been power washed or really taken care of on the other side. And then let's see if I can get over here really quick, because there is one last little section over here as well for the backyard. All gutters go away from the house. All the gutters look like they're in good shape as well. Window wells look like they're in good shapes. I would put covers over them at some point, just so you don't get too much moisture into them. And then you do have a little small section, which is kind of hard to show, but they do have 2 little lean-tos for your storage, for wood, for the wood burning fireplace. And the only access you have to it is through the front yard, which would probably be the easiest access because these juniper trees are in the way. Well, that is pretty much it, guys. Personally, out of everything I've seen, this one compares pretty good to 700 Locust, but I would say it is a couple steps above that as well. Yes, there are things that can be done to this home to make it feel more inviting and bring it to the new age that I've discussed throughout the video. But if I had to put my money into something, seeing the quality of what has been done to this home and the amount of work and effort and time that's been put into the backyard, to the exterior of the house, towards the mechanical and structural parts of the home, I really think that this one is one of the better bang for the bucks in terms of being able to pull equity out of it by doing the fun stuff on the inside that would make this house more inviting, and being able to ignore for a good chunk of time the exterior and other maintenance items that do come up as a homeowner when you own a home and have to keep up with maintenance. Last little thing I forgot to mention is you do have attic access from the garage. And the garage opener is a Genie. It is definitely an older unit. Probably works just fine on that side. Those things can last a lifetime. But if you ever wanted to replace that, wouldn't be a half bad deal. Well, let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you guys need any more details on the home. I'll try and look up some more information on the furnace, on the AC unit, on the roof, just to try and get some verification on those items. Otherwise, we'll be in touch, and hope you guys have had a good rest of your day.